Hi. So, I haven't really been wanting to do TBR videos anymore just because, I don't know, I tend to deviate from them quite a bit now. But the ORILIUM readathon is starting up again in August, so I figured that I would share my ORILIUM TBR. So the goal is to try and finish it all in August, but let's be realistic here, probably not gonna happen, even though I've given myself the best odds. Before I go into my list, I am going to open my Encyclopedia of Spirits, and we will learn about Urisk. I'm gonna say it like that because that sounds cool. Origin, Scotland. The Urisk is a water spirit, variously classified as a fairy or elf. He haunts lonely ponds, springs, and waterfalls in the Scottish Highlands. The Urisk is a gregarious spirit who enjoys human company and sometimes seeks it out. He resembles a goat god, like Pan or Fauns. His appearance makes people nervous, so encounters are often tense. The Urisk can be extremely helpful and benevolent, but can be tricky and mischievous too, like most fairies, honestly. His behavior may depend on the reactions of humans he meets. I would love to meet a river god dude thing. Very cool. Alright, so, man, I created a whole, reading log to keep track of the ORILIUM thing. Because honestly, I love what G has been doing. Creating a whole freaking world for a readathon. And I know she says that she wants to continue it throughout the years, and I hope she does because it's fun. I like it. So, for the autumn equinox, so the readathon that begins in August, at this point it's we passed some classes and we have reached our calling. I chose the Godseer calling. I did complete everything that I needed for the calling. It just took me longer than I don't remember when the readathon was, but I definitely went past it. And this time I'm giving myself the best chances, but honestly, I don't know. So this is my curriculum. I find it quite ironic that I am doing a readathon curriculum as well as actual school. So, to pass my tests, I need an O in inscription, which the prompt for this is a childhood favorite, so this is perfect. I am adding in Gregor and the Marks of Secret, which is the second book in the Underland Chronicles, I think. No, it's the Prophecy of Bane. I'm a dumbass. I'm actually realizing that I may have fucked up. I ended up realizing that I had some flaws in my list of books. I had to do some adjusting. Gregor and the Prophecy of Bane. Wow, there's some damage to this. You can tell I own this as a child. So here it's, I don't want to say too much, but basically Gregor and Boots return to the Underland, and there's more that happens with prophecy and stuff, and I believe Gregor begins to learn to use echolocation. I remember that was one of my favorite things, was him training with Rip Red. God, so many good memories. Can't wait. Then I need an O grade in restoration, which the prompt for that is one single object on the cover. I thought I had a book for this. I had a really thin book and I thought that it would work, but the edition I have, it has two toy figures and a little dinosaur thing and ice cubes, and I was like, this is not gonna work out. So I had to pick something else, but it's okay because what I picked is something that I wanted to add onto the TBR anyways, which is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. As you can see, there is one main focus on the cover. I think that this counts. I don't actually know what Piranesi is really about. I just know that it's apparently very wacky and very fantastical. It says here, Piranesi's house is no ordinary building. Its rooms are infinite, its corridors endless, its walls are lined with thousands upon thousands of statues, each one different from all the others. I know that I've been told that the beginning is kind of hard to understand because even the character himself doesn't really know what's happening, so I am prepared to be a little bit confused. Okay, then I need a Q grade in restoration. And for that, I need one of the oldest books on my TBR. This one's kind of hard because I honestly don't really keep track, but a book that has been on my TBR for a long time is City of Ghosts by V.E. Schwab. This is a middle grade book, I believe. and it is about a girl who can see ghosts, last I checked anyways. And I finally got this physical copy myself. Oh, there's a little map too. It says, ever since Cass almost drowned, okay, she did drown, but she doesn't like to think about it. She can pull back the veil that separates the living from the dead and enter the world of spirits. Her best friend is even a ghost. It just sounds really cool. Then I need an O grade in Conjuration, which is a book with necromancy themes. So I guess I could have gone with the sequel to that. Damn, now I'm a little torn. Okay, I'll give myself options. I don't know why, I didn't think about it before, but I could put Tunnel of Bones for this prompt and just read the sequel right after I read City of Ghosts if I really like it. But if I don't, I can also read The Boy Who Couldn't Die, which this one says, when his best friend is killed in a plane crash, Ken makes a decision. He will never die. He finds a woman who claims she can make him invulnerable to pain and death for the unbelievably cheap price of $50, and her strange ritual works. Ken can't be burned, beaten up, or even bitten by the sharks he dives among on his spring break in the Caribbean. It just sounds really cool. So I don't know, I guess it depends on how I feel. If I feel like I want to pick up a middle grade or something else, I'll give myself some options. Okay, for a Q in Conjuration, I need bone on the cover or in the title. Once again, I have some options. So I decided to grab Nettle and Bone, which is one that I keep hearing is really, really good. By T. Kingfisher. I can also choose Tunnel of Bones as well, so if I want to switch and swap and whatever, I can. Nettle and Bone, it says... I never read the whole thing because it's always so long. As the shy convent-raised third-born daughter, she escaped the traditional fate of princesses to be married away for the sake of an uncaring throne. But her sister wasn't so fortunate, and after years of silence, Mara is done watching her suffer at the hands of a powerful and abusive prince. Seeking help for her rescue mission, Mara is offered the tools she needs, but only if she can complete 3 seemingly impossible tasks. Build a dog of bones, sew a cloak of needles, capture moonlight in a jar. Sounds freaking cool, and look at this. That is so pretty. So, yeah. And there are also bones on the cover. I didn't even notice. The bone's really coming out of her skin. Look at that. All right, next I need an O in Demonology. This one's really easy. It says, read a fantasy. Easy peasy. I'm going to add Gregor and the Curse of the Warmbloods. This is the 3rd book in the Underland Chronicles. And in this one, I remember it was pretty dark. People were dying of plague, and it was ugly, and... it's almost one of those things where you're like, are you sure you want to put that in a middle grade book? But it is, and I can't wait. I honestly can't wait, because I remember I think this one probably affected me the most when I was a kid. So yeah, that's that one. Of course, I can always swap this one out because it says fantasy, so I can put any kind of fantasy book I decide to pick up for the prompt, but I would like to get through rereading the Underland Chronicles again. All right, then I need an O in lore. And for this one's really tough. It said colors that are similar to the flag of your country. So I live in America. I could have also tried doing France, but it's the same fucking colors. But I found a book, and it is one that I have been meaning to read, and it is The Deep by Nick Cutter. I have heard that it is a pretty terrifying book, that Nick Cutter is pretty brutal with his horror. But the colors on the cover match red, white, and blue. Tell me if you don't see it, because I do. I think it works. I don't actually know which one this is, because The Troop is the one that I looked into. I don't really know what The Deep is about, but I'm assuming I'm probably gonna love it. It's horror. How would I not love it? Then I need a Q in lore, which is a store featuring betrayal. Okay, this one's a little tricky, because I can't really know if there's gonna be betrayal. I just assumed that in Juniper and Thorn there probably is betrayal, because it talks about like a gruesome curse, a city in upheaval, a monster with unquenchable appetites. Marlikin and her 2 sisters live with their wizard father in a city shifting from magic to industry. Just a theme like that, I feel like there's gonna be some kind of betrayal in there. There's gonna be something about using other people for your own gain, or being sacrificed for some reason, something like that. And I really do want to read this because I know that Sam didn't like it, but I feel like I might. I don't know. It really depends. But another book that I could also use that I am trying to do, because I did say that I wanted to read more indie books, more self-pub books, and Forged in the Fallout is one that I have had on my shelf for a while. And I think there may be themes of betrayal on it. It says, Clayton Spangler turned 14 a couple of days ago, maybe. His father keeps the exact date under a mountain of secrets, but secrets have a way of getting out. Like, it already has secrets involved, so like there's gotta be betrayal in here. So it all depends on if I want to read a book that is like, how much is Juniper and Thorn? I think Juniper and Thorn is like 200 and something pages maybe, or 300 pages. This one's 368. It's actually not that bad. Depends on what I'm feeling, but this one does sound really cool. Like, it looks like it's got an underground setting, which is something I love. Okay, and then the last prompt is I need a D in lore, and that one requires a desert setting. I could go with a lot. I decided that I would take it easy on myself. I'm gonna do this. I'm pretty sure it's a desert setting. I mean, it looks deserted. Does it have to be an actual, like, sand desert? I don't know. But this is a comic book. It's called Lola, Wasteland Madame, or the local used bookstore that I go to a lot. They had this, and they saw my name on it, and they're like, hey, you want it? I mean, it's got your name on it. I was like, fuck yeah, I do. I don't actually know what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's a standalone because it said somewhere here. It's a spin-off miniseries, so I'm sure that I don't need to read the rest of this. But it does say, okay, the aftermath of a nuclear holocaust has eviscerated the city of Chicago, and a band of rebellious survivors find solace under the leadership of Madeline, the Wasteland Madame. However, the devastating events of her own tragic past are not so easily forgotten, as her demons return to destroy everything these rebels have struggled to build at any cost, including their lives. I'm pretty sure this fits for desert, okay? And I'm gonna give myself a nice short comic book. Also, I do need to, in August, I need to read The Firekeeper's Daughter, because that is my book club pick for August. Technically, it's my book club pick for September because we meet in September to talk about it, but I read it through August. So I need to read it in August, but I couldn't find any prompts that it would really fit in. Editing Lola here. I look like shit. I feel like shit. But I just realized the Firekeeper's Daughter could actually probably fit for the desert setting because I think it is like set in a reservation. Like a Native American reservation, but I also wanted to have like shorter books to read, especially since the desert setting thing is the third prompt for the lore thing, and like I think you have to read them in order. I don't know, but the point is I didn't feel like I could put it for the desert setting, even though technically it could be put for that. But thankfully G has extra quests that you can do, and they also count towards like the August page count or whatever. So I will be reading The Firekeeper's Daughter to complete the Amphibian Wrangler Wanted quest or whatever. And it says that it has to be an author name that starts with B or F. It doesn't specify if it has to be first name or last name, but the author of Firekeeper's Daughter is Angelina Booley, so starts with B. Anyways, that's my like very ambitious August TBR, but also more ORILIUM TBR. Once again, I probably will not be doing TBR videos anymore. I might still do wrap-ups, but I don't think TBRs are really something I'm going to keep doing unless there is like a readathon that I'm planning for and I'm trying to fit prompts in. And all these prompts might change. Who knows? Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you're also participating in the ORILIUM readathon or anything that you want to share that you are planning on reading, or if you are interested in any of the books that I just talked about. Yeah, leave it down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye!